fact, even now, it's a little hard to get the words out of my mouth. But it's been really hard to get into painting, and I've found almost any excuse I could not to start again. It's that fear of it not being very good when you get back to it. It's the fear of there are so many great YouTubers who do art. There's the fear of it's not going to be as good as what I expect from myself. And the project I'm going to work on deserves really fantastic art. So all of this has kind of been like a weight on my shoulders. And for 3 years, I've had this children's book script from a friend that I've really wanted to dig into and work on. I've even done, like a couple years ago, I did storyboards for it. So I have all the layout. It's just getting the final artwork done, some character design and things like that. And so it's super embarrassing also because time has passed. Now, starting late seems like even more pressure, and that makes me put it off further. And it's all, probably very common if you've done artistic things. So I want to put this out there because I know a lot of other people get in this same mindset and it's hard to break out of. But I'm also putting this out into the world on YouTube as a way to hold myself accountable. Putting this out in public is a way for me to remember that, hey, you guys are expecting the next in the series. We got to keep working on it. The next video has to come out, so some artwork has to get done. You guys need to hold my feet to the fire, although I'm sure there's not a lot of people on the channel yet. That's okay. Hopefully we can build something here, support each other, and get some really cool projects made. So for today, I'm setting my expectations really low. I'm going to get the paints out. I haven't completely cleaned my office. That was another procrastinating thing. Oh, I can't start because my office isn't perfectly set up to paint or film painting. And that was holding me up. And the other day I said, I just have to do it. However things are, that's just how they're going to be. So for today, I'm just going to get the acrylics out, start working on a rough painting, kind of test some ideas about the style that we want this project to be in, see what happens, work on some of the background art. I'm not going to spoil the whole book and everything, and I'll show you bits and pieces of it as we go along, but I don't want to spoil the book for when that comes out. So bear with me here. I'm going to try to do a video a week of something. I'll give you a feel for this project. I've got another project that is kind of like a music video type of thing I want to do with a children's song. But I have some, again, storyboards that I've been sitting on for years. If you've got a project like that, put this on in the background and, we can paint together, very Bob Ross style. And as we're doing this together, we cannot be afraid to suck at the beginning. And it's going to. My hands are very out of shape for painting, and that's going to take a little while to come back. So I've been, in the last week or so, been trying to do a little more drawing and things. This painting won't be the greatest. It's not something I'm going to sell. It's probably going to be thrown in the trash. But I want to do this work because another fear I've had taking on this big project is that because I'm out of shape on this kind of stuff, if I start with, page 1, by the time I get to the end of the book, I'm probably going to be a lot more proficient again, and then going to have to go back and fix the front half of the book. We're going to do some practice paintings, just backgrounds and things, and get a feel for how I want to handle the medium, which is going to be acrylic, but I'm going to do it in a very wet style to keep it almost watercolor, but I want some of that opaqueness that I can get from acrylics. So that's my plan right now. We'll see if that evolves as we get back into it. So I encourage you, if you've been putting off doing artwork again or feeling like it's beyond you, just start with anything and know it's probably not going to be great your first couple brush strokes, but you can work at it. Anybody can paint taking the time and practice. And something that really takes the pressure off is just, taping down a piece of white, printer paper on, a card table or something, and just painting on that. If you keep it, you keep it. If you don't, you throw it away. The stakes are really low. Sometimes when we get canvas in front of us or finish materials, the anxiety really ramps up because, I have to get this right. The the canvas or paperboard or whatever I'm working on is expensive, and therefore it has to be perfect. I don't know how many times when I was a kid I'd get sketchbooks and feel like really nice hardbound sketchbooks. I'd be like, oh, my greatest drawings of all time are going to go into this. And I'd like draw one thing and then realize like, oh, that's not worthy of this fantastic sketchbook. And then I'd find it, 10 years later was still only that single drawing in it. So let yourself make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Start, with inexpensive materials, get the feel for things back, and then we're going to get into this. I'm hoping you're excited about coming on this journey with me. We're going to work on this book background project, maybe a little character design, but again, I don't want to spoil things. And then this other idea I have for kind of an animation project I want to take you through in future weeks. But today's really about just getting the paints and brushes out, getting something down, getting that brush in your hand, and getting that feel back a little bit. So we're going to work on that, and whatever happens, happens. If it's crap, we throw it away, and that's okay. The important thing is to learn something and get back in the swing of things. Because letting that fear stifle our creativity means we're never going to get started. So we've got to do something. Let's get to it. It's a couple days later, and I guess I'm finished with this. This was rough. My technique was terrible. My brush choice was terrible. Really, my hands were too stiff, and I overworked the heck out of some of these sections, which is unfortunate, but this is an exercise to shake some of that rust off. In that respect, I'm pretty happy with it. It turned out pretty bad, but that's okay. I'm using a throwaway sheet of paper material, cheap acrylic paints, but it got me back in the swing of things. I really enjoyed it. And so I'm going to take this, what I learned, we'll get rid of this one, shake it off, start another one, and try to keep rolling, try to do a little bit of painting each day, and get back into good form. Hopefully the next one's much better, but if you're running into that fear of not being good enough, hopefully this gives you a little confidence that you can jump in, start wherever you are with whatever materials you have, and just get that creativity flowing and start working on your next projects. So thanks for sticking through this one. With a little more practice, we should be able to do a better job on the next one and just keep building on that. And I hope we've chased some of that fear away. I know it has for me. I hope it has in your projects too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy painting.